I went to go look today at Architectural Salvage for some glass and couldn't find anything for the sizes I need, which is probably a good thing because none of that stuff is tempered anyways. And since this is going in a door, I'm forced to go ahead and order it, and it's going to be tempered. So that's what I'm going to do right now and get this ordered. And then we have those stops already milled from the last video if you caught that. And those will also need to have finish sprayed on them. So we're going to finish the door. We're going to be spraying with that Renner and stuff, and we'll get into that later in the video. But now I'm on my way to get this glass ordered, and I'm hoping that I can get like some kind of waviness or distortion, but depending on cost, I might just get clear glass, so we'll have to see. So while we were at, Ashley's with me, by the way. So while we were at the Architectural Salvage looking for the glass, we're also on the hunt for fixtures, for the lights, brass pieces to finish out that bathroom from the last video as well, that little powder bath. And we came up empty-handed. That's the thing about those places. Sometimes you find like the diamond in the rough, but other times it's just a waste of time, honestly. But I guess that's kind of the fun part of looking for that stuff. So it's off now to the good old internet to look for fixtures and try to find something that's gonna work for that area. We just ordered the glass for the custom door, and it came out to be $437.93 for those 9 pieces of glass. They are tempered and they're just clear. They have this style that I like called German antique, but when you get into those like special order items here, it's not even worth it anymore, like for my budget. This is already pushing it. So all in on this door, just for the material cost, I'm about $1,000, a little over $1,000, because the white oak was about $600, this glass being about $437. I mean, $1,000 door. But what would this door sell for? Like if I was to make this for someone, it would probably go for $3,500, $2,700 to $3,500. I would say. And that's pretty fair, I think. It's gonna come in about 7 days, 7 to 10 business days. And once we get that, then we can install that door and move on to the next thing. But there's tons of other things to do still. So we're gonna head back to the house and start knocking out some more of these tasks.
For Daniel in technical support, press 4. For Katarina in accounts payable.
Technical support. I've never shot this stuff before. Never even opened it. Okay, that's easy to figure out. So just 15% catalyst of whatever I mix.
Yeah, and then you only have 4 hours. So once you spray, you're gonna want to clean your equipment before the 4-hour limit is up. Then it's gonna harden, and it'll mess up your equipment.
And you can do airless?
Yeah, you can do airless. That's not a problem. So in airless, you might need more than the quart filter.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably like 2 quarts, just enough to load it up.
And then just clean with water?
Yeah, just clean with water after. Yeah, no, the product's pretty easy to use. You just gotta watch the time to make sure you're catalyzed.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the help. Awesome. I love that when a company sells you a product and they actually provide support for it. So I've never sprayed this stuff before. Obviously, I'm calling to get information on how this stuff operates. But this is Renner wood coatings. I learned about them from my friend Eric Reason, who's like a master finisher in the Nashville area. So here we have our Renner Aquarius, 1 gallon. I'm pretending like I know what I'm talking about. But yeah, this is what Eric told me to get for getting that finish that I desired. So you just heard the guy on the phone, technical support, said whatever you're spraying, you add 15% catalyst to that amount. We'll have to do some figuring to figure out what formula we need to use, but yeah, I'm gonna be spraying this in my airless, and I'll probably just mix it in my hopper. I'll measure this all out, mix it in there, and then you only have 4 hours to complete the finish, which is more than enough time to get this done, because at 4 hours, it's done. So we're gonna be spraying our door here, obviously, and then all the glass stops that we milled from the last video we milled more than enough. So the next thing we got to do is move this dust collection out of here and set ourselves up a plastic booth right here to get this door sprayed in. So if this finish works, if I like it, which I think I'm going to, super high-end finish. I think this setup right here cost me like $160, so it's up there. But yeah, if I like this, this will be the finish for all the white oak doors that I make here at the house. Oh, looks like polyurethane. Check it out. So here's the waterborne hardener for that coating right there. It's called Synthesis, and there's a look inside. It kind of just looks just like water. Kind of crazy because it says solvent-based here, but water-based hardener on the back. So we'll see. And the plan here, since we're at 64, the plan here is to go to 72 and then add 4 of these, and that'll get us to the correct ratio. So I'm just going to pour this in until we get to 72. The clock starts. In 4 hours, this will be hardened. So I have to get this done in 4 hours. Thankfully, I'm only spraying 1 door and some moldings, but I also have to clean my sprayer immediately after. And I really should get a dedicated rig for spraying any kind of clears, because if any of that white paint, little chips or anything comes through the hose, it's going on the door, and that's happened to me before. But I don't have another sprayer right now, so this is it. So I'm gonna head in there, shoot this thing. We'll see how it goes. I don't really want the camera in there. I really like this camera and I don't want to ruin it. If the I'm going to shoot those little pieces first. If the overspray isn't bad, then we'll bring the camera in there. But if it's not, we can't do that. So that'll be a big loss. Oh, it looks like paint kind of. Y'all see that? That's pretty cool because I can actually know where I sprayed. I'm not going to wear a respirator in here, so I better hurry up. Hit these first. I already experienced my first clog. Nice. Hit the top first. Come down the sides. I'm going to hit all these inside details. Definitely a learning curve with this one. I already see where I screwed up once or twice. But I'm going to finish out this coat and hopefully I can sand out the little bit of overlap that I got. Yep. Thought it was like going to be a little more forgiving. As far as the fumes, because of water base, definitely not. I'm telling you, let's see if those imperfections that I kind of, what happens was when I sprayed the rail and the stiles, like right there where they meet, I crossed it too close and I got a little bit of a, tape better not fall right now. I got a little bit of like overlap, so it's building up. But I think I could sand that out, it shouldn't be a problem. Guys, so it's been about 35 minutes since I sprayed that first coat. It's fully cured, and I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with this sander, which by the way, this is my new favorite sander. Milwaukee sent me this thing. It's a little M12 sander. It's got that kind of triangle shape at the top, and this thing's awesome. Couple different settings on there, 4 settings actually, and it is super, super good. Compression pad, like that surf prep you guys always see me use. This thing is awesome for doing a quick sand. Only bad thing, at least I didn't see in the one that they sent me, no place for dust collection. So yeah, maybe there's an attachment, I don't know. So I'm gonna sand out my imperfections, make sure I check all that, and then respray and be very, very meticulous about my spray pattern this time. I am so rusty when it comes to spraying. I haven't sprayed in like 6 months now. So I definitely need to keep my spray technique in mind on this second coat. But I'm gonna go ahead and hit this up, and I'll show you guys how it looks. I'll actually show you some up close right now before I sand it. So here's what we're looking like on that finish with that first coat. You can really see it when I get it against that light right there. I like what it does. It really seals off that small grain and kind of leaves this wider grain, larger grain exposed. And you can just see how that sheen reflects off that the whole way down. It's an awesome finish. I just need something that's durable and gonna show that natural beauty of the wood, and this looks like it's gonna do both of those. So on to the sanding. So here's what we got after the sanding. A little tight area to show you, but looks pretty good. Liking that sheen that I'm seeing coming off there. And I'll probably buff this out on the final sanding coat. So I know it's hard to see with that light in the back. Here's our glass stops over here. Let's see if I can, yeah, it's a real natural look. All done with that sanding. Time to throw that second coat on there. All right, made a rookie mistake. Thankfully not in regards to the door, but in regards to the camera. I didn't push record on that coat, but let me show you how this looks. So there's how the stops look, and I'm much happier with my coat on them this time. It's a lot more even, same consistency. So I also turned my pressure down quite a bit. It was way too high for this finish, and I really should have done some test spraying like with different pressures before I started. But like I told you guys, I'm super rusty at spraying, but here's how this is looking. You can see how wet everything is. So nice even coat there, but that's what I'm looking for right there. That consistent wetness where it's not dripping. All right, quick change of plans. I am gonna spray the front side of it one last time because I had one little blemish. I just sanded out, and I want to coat the whole thing again because I have the material and I got to coat that blemish anyways, and don't want any inconsistency. So I'm going to set the camera up right here and spray this again and show you guys my spraying pattern of how I'm going to go about spraying it this time versus last time. I'm a lot more methodical in my approach on this now third round. Pressure is lower this time. I'm going to hit it up. This stuff hangs really well, so I know how slow I can move with it now, especially at this lower pressure. My blemish looks really bad actually. Maybe when this coat dries, it might go away. I'm gonna show you guys. Oh no, that's not gonna fly. That is not gonna fly. I'm gonna have to do something about that. No, that is not gonna work for me. All in this area. So this is where I had that overlap, and I had to sand it out a little bit, and I sanded too much through the film of the first coat that it got back down to raw wood, and now you're seeing this inconsistency. So people think spraying is an easy thing. They think painting is easy. I'm just telling you, try it and you'll realize why that painter gave you that quote to do the job. It's a lot. It's probably the most underestimated task that people think they can do. And don't get me wrong, it's not rocket science, but there's a lot of technique that goes into it, like the thing I just screwed up. And even just rolling a wall, like I've seen people roll walls just kind of DIY type, and like they're like, oh, I'm done. And then we go in to put the trim in after, and there's all these roller marks, inconsistent sheen, and I'm just like, I mean, I guess it's not a good end result. It needs another coat, it needs a wider roller, whatever the case may be. But the point is, this finishing business is a lot harder than it looks. So I'm done today. I may have to break out that other half gallon if I can't fix this. But anyways, I'm gonna wait around for this. This is gonna eat up the whole day, finishing this door. So that's about all I'm gonna accomplish today. I may not even accomplish that given the situation in there, but that's the only blemish. And it's on the front side of the door that faces the living room. So yeah, I'm in a predicament, and I don't really have time built in the schedule to do this again tomorrow. Hopefully it dries and it's not as bad. I just have to see. Guys, back here at the back of the shop, just contemplating what the heck I'm gonna do. And I think this is gonna have to be redone tomorrow, but the good part about it is, since it's right there where that stile and rail meet, I can take a card scraper, I can scrape the film off that I just sprayed on, that finish. I don't want to do it right now. I'm gonna touch something else that's wet and just make it worse than it is. But I only have to refinish that stile and that rail. So it's not as bad as it seems, although the time loss is just horrible. I'm gonna call it a video right here and let you guys know how this turns out on the next one, because I'm gonna have to play the waiting game right now, and I also have to clean the sprayer out. And the sun's setting on this day and also on this video. So thanks so much for hanging out with me on this video. Can't win them all. This is how jobs go sometimes, especially when you're trying out a new technique. So I pay for that learning curve, and now I know in the future, get that pressure right, get that spray pattern right, and it's these lessons right here that you never forget. It's frustrating. Like, you spend all this time, put this thing together, spray this nice finish on it, and get an overlap. It's a rookie mistake, and I should have never made it. But anyways, can't win them all. I'll see you guys on the next one.